Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Out Loud and On Purpose podcast. Today's conversation is going to center around something that may sound a little bit soft, but actually it reaches right into the center of the kind of life most of us would say we want to build. And that topic is kindness. Not vague kindness, not the kind of kindness that you find on a quote, on a coffee mug, and not the version of kindness that sounds great online but disappears the moment a person is tired, irritated, maybe you've overbooked and you're emotionally short on your patience. Here's the basic claim for the day. At least at the beginning, kindness doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose. Intentional kindness frameworks often define kindness as noticing a need, choosing and honoring a type of a response, and following through with positive action. So sit with us for a little while. Let's look at what kindness is. Today, Amy and I are going to have a conversation about kindness and what it looks like in the world today, and how you and I can make a difference by being a little bit more on purpose. Let's step in it. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming back to hang out with us for a little while and have a chat here in the therapy room. I'm your host, Kyle Hargrove. This is the Out Loud and On Purpose podcast. And I'm joined today by my co-host, Miss Amy, who, as you already know, makes everything better.
So kind. Hi, Kyle.
Howdy. How are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Good. For a Monday, not bad.
Right. It's been a good day.
Yeah, it has. I had a Monday all the way through 1 o'clock. But since then, it's been a good day. I don't know. My clients were on the struggle bus today.
Uh-oh.
And it was one of those days where every single person, the moment I saw them, the moment I saw their faces, I knew, something was off, something wasn't right, something was up, something was this, something was that. But anyway, we got through it. And I think for the most part, everybody left in a little better shape than they came.
That's the idea.
So it was a good work day.
Good.
And now we're doing the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
We're hanging out, practicing our hobby.
I love it. I love this.
I do too. I'm really hoping and praying that one day it's more than a hobby, that it's a job for both of us, but one that we would certainly enjoy and be passionate about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how was your week?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Didn't, just kind of chilled. Typical.
Yeah.
And then today was a good day. Very productive.
Good.
So, yeah.
What does a productive day look like for an esthetician?
About 4 clients.
4?
4.
Okay.
Because I work in another town.
That's
on
right.
Mondays.
On Mondays. So you got driving time to get there, 4 or 5 people to see, and then driving time to get back, because I think you're almost an hour away.
Almost an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's great. I get to work with different modalities.
Yeah.
So that's fun, and different people. So yeah, it's I love it.
Cool. You and I both are in a position with our careers to exhibit kindness.
Yes.
Every day, and we don't really have to look for it.
Right.
So what would that look like for you? I mean, give me an example of some time you have seen the need to exhibit kindness to somebody, and you maybe it was a day you didn't feel like it. Maybe it was a day where you were just kind of nah, but you saw the need and you stepped up anyway. I mean, can you think of an example of sometimes somebody came in to see you and it didn't take long to figure out they were in a world of hurt?
Oh, for sure. When a client comes in, typically they are not only wanting a facial, but they want to chat and talk.
Yes.
And there are days, believe it or not, where I would rather not.
Mm-hmm.
Those are few and far between, though, honestly. So I think just having a shoulder or a listening ear, just being kind to them and just listening, not only because that's my job, but that's me as a person.
Yeah.
This morning, having to be at work at 9 a.m. and the first client, it was raining, it was pouring rain, and they're 20 minutes late, which that puts me behind.
Of course.
So technically, I could have said, no, it's too far. It's going to run me late. but I didn't. They came in and I was 20 minutes late to the next client, and we worked it out.
Yeah, you probably talk a little less when they're 20 minutes late. You
That's
get right to it, and you
Yes.
walk right through it.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, and I have the same opportunity every day because any day that I work, I'm going to have anywhere from 5 to 8 clients that are for some reason or another looking to me for some type of guidance or facilitation.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's facilitation because I don't do that much guiding in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to guide themselves, but my job is to provide options and for them to gain insight.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of personal stuff that gets laid out on the table in that process. And, I'm not going to lie. There are times when it would be easy, to jump back in horror or go, "Oh,
You did what?
you what?" Or they did that? To who?
Mm-hmm.
How many times? Oh my God. Did you call the police?
Yeah.
It was-
Gosh.
But a lot of people, they're laying bare their own souls. They're talking about choices and decisions that they have made that they're not necessarily proud of or they haven't worked out real well. And it would be easy to recoil in horror. And I'm not saying I never have, but I'm saying as I've gone on in my career, it happens less and less. And I'm able to keep it internal for the most part.
For the most part.
So, but what they need at that point is some type of validation or affirmation, and it's not always earned. It's not always
Sure.
something that they've it's not something their behaviors have warranted. So sometimes I got to get kind of creative, but that's okay because the idea is to keep them engaged
Mm-hmm.
and to gather their trust to the point that we can talk about the hard things a little bit better, and I can be a little more direct because they trust me and they know that I care about them and that I'm not going to say anything that's not in their best interest or talk to them in a way that's condescending
Mm-hmm.
or judgmental. Because for crying out loud, I don't even want to go into the places of life that I've been where I could and should have been judged
Mm-hmm.
and wasn't, much less the ones that I was. And it takes an intentional effort sometimes to be kind to somebody when you're wondering, what kind of person is this really?
Right.
It's a crazy thing. But here's what we're going to embark on today. In the coming weeks, I'm going to challenge you, the listener, to pop.
To pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Capital P, capital O, capital P.
Okay.
And that, of course, is our acronym of the day.
Acronyms.
Dun, da, 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 da.
We love acronyms.
Yeah. POP. Pause on purpose. And I'm gonna encourage you and challenge you to start this habit of pausing on purpose. I'm sorry, I've got to stop for a moment so that I can pop. No, you don't have to do that or say that. You just do it. You just mentally step back. You give yourself a second and think about what you're about to say or do. Pause on purpose. I want you to remember that. But while we're popping right now, what I want you to be thinking about is your own kindness quotient, so to speak. I don't have a formula or anything like that, but I think you know where I'm coming from. I want you to think about when you're kind on purpose. And the last couple of weeks we've talked about who am I on purpose, and is one of the things you can tag team along with that is who I am on purpose, a person that's kind on purpose. So evaluate your own kindness quotient. How kind are you, and to whom, and how often? These are important things to consider. Is your kindness situational, or is it epidemic? Are you sick with kindness? Are you kind all the time? Are you so kind that that's how you're known and people know that about you? I don't have a lot of doubt that most of us consider ourselves to be reasonably kind. But the question today for you is that enough? But most significantly, I believe in you. I don't even know who you are listening to this podcast, but I believe that if you will truly dedicate yourself to this cause or to this endeavor, call it what you want, that you're going to find that your own acts of kindness will begin to transform your mind. And that sometimes is a little bit of a surprise because we figure we're being kind to benefit someone else. and we start being kind and we see our own minds changing. Didn't we talk about changing your mind last week?
We did.
We did. That's right. Looky how it comes into play again. Well, I think your thoughts are going to change. And I think you'll start seeing the positive in people that you have always held negative thoughts about. You may not have had a very high opinion of them, and you're going to become more forgiving, not only to others, but to yourself. And that's a big thing for a lot of people. You know, short of kindness, love is not even possible, either in thought or in deed. In other words, most of us say I'm stuck on love. We'd like to improve our relationships and accomplish having loving relationships we've always wanted. And if that's what you want today, kindness is not an option. It's imperative. You know anybody like that? Anybody who has, in their dealings with you, shown you that their first move is to be kind, even if you've done something to wrong them, even if you have stolen from them, even if you have told a lie about them, if you've gossiped about them, and they're kind to you anyway. Amy, have you ever seen that?
Yes.
I have to think it would leave an imprint so that I can legitimately ask you to say, tell us about it.
Gosh, I've been so fortunate.
Wait.
Yes.
Don't tell the story about me, okay? Talk about somebody else.
That's what I was going to say.
Talk about somebody else this time.
Okay, besides you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Going through certain situations throughout life, people standing up and helping me when they don't really know me, just because they're kind people. There is nothing that they expect in return. Nothing. I have been so fortunate personally.
I think most of us have. I just don't know if most of us realize it.
Oh, gosh. You
ever think about that? I mean, there may be people that are exhibiting kindness to you all day, every day, around you, and you don't even realize it.
Right.
And you and I had a conversation not long ago about something called confirmation bias.
Right.
And I think this would fit into what we were talking about in that conversation, because your mindset is either going to find itself on a positive side or a negative side. In other words, I'm going to see the positive and the blessings in life, the things that God has blessed me with and given me, whether I deserve it or not, and usually not. Or you're going to see the side of the world or from the side of the world that says, everything sucks. Everybody's out to take advantage of me. I'm a victim. Whether I work hard to not be or not, it's just the way of the world. It's just the way it's always going to be. And I'm just waiting for the next thing to happen. So whichever one of those sides we fall on, it creates a big part of our mindset.
So it's the half empty, half full.
Exactly. It's the same thing either way if you think about it.
True.
If the glass is halfway full, it is also halfway empty. It's deciding which part of the glass you want to be in.
Or how you describe it to another person.
True story.
So if the other person hears half empty, then it might be taken as more negative.
As well it should be.
Right.
Because that's going to be their mindset.
Right.
And those are the things they're going to see around them. It doesn't mean there are no blessings. It doesn't mean there are no positive things. It doesn't mean there is no kindness. They just don't see it because it's not what they're looking for and it's not what they expect.
That kind of reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. And it says, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it.
Preach.
Period.
Preach.
Yeah.
Amen, sister. Don't stop now. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the change your mind concept. Not about an opinion. Change what your mind is into something else. And you have the ability to do that. And you don't have to even know the science behind it. If you just follow the instructions and give it the time that it requires to reroute the neural pathways in your very own brain, because you have the ability to do that. So do I. In her bestseller, Kindness Matters, Shaunti Feldman talks about and reveals two types of kindness that have the power to transform individuals as well as relationships. So I want you to listen to this real close. I'm gonna read some quotes here from Sean T. Feldman. Targeted kindness that is specific to one individual, for example, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a child, classmate, or a colleague with whom you want a better relationship. Targeted kindness is one type of kindness. And broad kindness is the kind of kindness that impacts the many people you encounter and thus the culture at large. So there's targeted kindness, which means I can be kind and I am kind to individuals that I choose.
Okay.
And if you're not in my inner circle of those individuals, it's a toss-up. It's a coin flip as to whether I'm going to be kind to you. The broad kindness says no matter how many levels of circles I have, inner, number 2 inner, mid, number 4 outer, number 5 outer, how many circles I have, I'm going to respect every human individual that will allow me to by being kind to them, regardless of the level of our relationship or my opinion about who and what they really are.
Team broad kindness.
Yeah. and the team is the human race.
Right.
But Shanti further establishes that kindness is made up of 3 distinct elements. And if we camp anywhere today, this is probably where I'd like to camp. Those elements are your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Kindness is made up of 3 distinct elements: thought, word, and action. And if you don't know that, you may never have connected with kindness before.
Oh.
Not that you haven't been kind or nice.
Sure.
Because I think really if you don't endeavor to be kind in general, you're kind of just being nice.
And there's a difference between nice and kind.
Yeah? What do you know about that?
Not much, other than nice is...
Not much.
I don't know. Like I feel like you're born nice. Kind is a choice, if that makes sense. Like nice is you have it. You're nice or you're not nice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind is a choice on how to treat another human.
Mm-hmm. So you have the capacity.
Yes.
To be nice.
Good word. Yes.
$5 word. I want to be paid now. Because if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to. But yeah, we all have the capacity to be nice. But let me take that. This is a track I didn't anticipate, but something I know a little bit about. When you were born, Miss Amy, it was a great day.
Indeed. No.
Oh, indeed. No question about it. But when you were born, you were the epitome of narcissism. Everything was about you. Mm-hmm. Every single thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I see that.
You knew one way of communicating, and that was to make noise with your vocal cords. You didn't even know what you were doing when you cried, when you just pretended you were crying, when you shouted out in pain, or whatever noise you made. From your crib or wherever you were, you used your vocal cords to let people know you are not a happy camper. Why? You were wet. You were dirty. You were cold. You were hot.
I was probably hungry.
You were hungry. And that probably is number 1, actually. Even more, at the tender age of 64, being wet or dirty would top the list. Hungry could wait.
True.
But maybe at 64 hours or days, not so much. So, but the thing is, everything you communicate at that point in your life is about you, and it's about a discomfort or a dissatisfaction that you're experiencing. And every single one of us were born the same way. Mm-hmm. So although we have the capacity to not be that way, there's a certain amount of environmental stuff that has to happen in order for that to actually occur out of our own behavior. We have to see it happen. I think it's important for us to be taught about being nice and kind. And then to the people that we look up to, hopefully they know that and they realize that everything they do is being watched and listened to. And then when we finally decide to practice those things ourselves, when we receive the reward for respectful behavior, it begins to cement that behavior in our character and cement it into our personalities. So therefore, I think it'll do you no good to look at this experience as something for which you've already laid down the tracks. Well, I've got kindness down. It's a no-brainer. I'm kind to everybody all the time, every time. No, you're not. Nobody is. And I think even the kindest of people, which typically are going to be people who have a little age on them, a few miles on them, even the kindest of people still give it a lot of thought and a lot of intentionality and a lot of effort, because even they don't always feel like it. So I want everybody to remember, know that as much as you may have grown as a human and as a person that possesses some kind of character, and character is something that is obtained by intentionality as well. And you know me well enough to know I encourage people to intentionally go after achieving the character of Christ, and to within that, more specifically, to look at Galatians 5 and develop the fruits of the Spirit, the 9 fruits of the Spirit. And I know somebody's going to say, well, why didn't you mention them right here? Because I don't remember all of them right now. But I know one thing, kindness is right there in the middle. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for rejoining our conversation about character and kindness. Let me start that over because character was not in the title. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for rejoining us in our conversation today about kindness. Have you had, Miss Amy, let's just say in the last decade, have you noticed the emphasis on kindness? Programs and people talking about it, and you didn't have the experience teaching school like I did, but it's rampant in the public school system. Kindness matters, and kindness counts, and kindness this and kindness that. Have you noticed that?
Not particularly.
Okay. I think it may be more corporate
I was going to say that
public.
sounds like a corporate
type
situation.
I think it's corporations' way of saying, look, everybody just be nice to each other so that we don't have to deal with problems. Yeah, yes. That's what they're doing. And it was interesting in the school system, every year there was a week. It was the Kindness Counts Week. And the encouragement was, do random acts of kindness for one another this week. Okay, why just this week? What the heck is up with that? And the other thing that I had an issue with is that term, random act of kindness. If you are nice to somebody randomly, is that really kindness? Because if you're truly kind, aren't you nice to people and kind to people on the regular?
It would make sense.
Yeah. So, all this emphasis on kindness, I love. I think it's great. I think we need to teach it. We need to preach it. We need to set examples of it. And we need to, show people when others have been kind and say, and I know you don't be kind for
like a personal gain. Like
or for the publicity of it. You're kind because it's what's in your heart. You want to see somebody do better, be better, have a better opportunity. There's a lot of reasons to be kind, but when you are, I think.
I will forever, probably in every podcast, mention this because I believe in it so much, but it's the golden rule. And I try to live by the golden rule. That's like a mantra for me.
But I see that in you.
Well, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you want to be treated nice, treat people nice. And I'm going to get on my soapbox. It's not that hard.
Climb on up.
It is not that difficult to be nice, to be kind, I should say. It's not that hard.
No, it's not. And it costs nothing.
It costs nothing. There are days when I would rather not be because I am in a mood or something's, there's something affecting me, but that doesn't affect the way I treat others.
Good. Then you're ahead of the crowd because it's kind of a strange new world. And in the past decade, there have been countless challenges to be kind and practice kindness and acknowledge acts of kindness. All good. But these emphases indicate, in my opinion, that kindness is important. I don't think we always go about teaching it the right way, but the fact that there is an emphasis on it means it's important. And that's what we've got to latch on to. And I, in my opinion, in my belief system, actually, it's more than important. It's imperative. But when you peek backstage behind book covers and posters and PR campaigns, there's a reason that kindness has been a hot topic for a decade or more. And as much as I hate to say it, and I hate to appear negative, because somebody will say, you're just being negative. I'm convinced that because I coined this term a few years ago, the MRI of our hearts. You get MRIs on your knees, your
Next.
brain. I've never heard of anybody getting an MRI of the heart. And maybe it exists. I've just never heard of it. But as we interpret the results of an MRI of our heart, if you will, I think the image that we're going to see, and do not toss me into the category of somebody who sees a demon under every rock, but I think the image that we're going to see is one of evil that's become pervasive and invasive to the point of a disease that impacts us all. I have never in my life seen hate and vitriol so willingly shared openly as I see right now. And maybe it's just, okay, Kyle, well, that's just the time period you were born into. It was peaceful for a while, and then not so peaceful for a while, and then and then it got really ugly. And that's just the way it is. It's just a circle of life. Maybe, I don't know. All I can say is this is what I've seen. And the sad part about it is you don't have to participate in the hate to be damaged by it.
Wow.
And it doesn't mean we can no longer be kind, but it means that it will require a lot more targeted kindness.
I feel like
and broad kindness than ever before to make a dent into this hardened heart of mankind.
Well, I think that's big for me because I feel like people don't intend on being not kind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that life happens and life is hard. Life is a challenge, and every day it slaps you in the face, whether it be, I don't know, you stub your toe or it's something major.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people are bitter.
Yeah.
And so kindness is not the first reaction, or I don't know what it is. If it's easier just to snap or be nasty.
Well, it depends on your outlook. Is your outlook one of entitlement?
Right.
And that everything that happens to you should be good because you deserve it? Or is it one that understands the reality that life keeps on lifing,
mm-hmm.
and that the world is going to toss things at you that are unpleasant and unexpected? It's the truth. That's the way the world is.
Maybe that explains why today is very, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's hard to overcome it. And it's sometimes hard to even talk about current events and not feel negative and not feel the pervasive negativity that is being very intentionally thrown and slung around with no concern really whatsoever about what happens because of it. It's a tough time.
It is.
In our culture and in our society right now.
It is.
And I get worried, and we don't talk politics and much theology on this podcast, but I'm afraid that we're at a position right now where so much has been said that is so ugly and horrible that there's going to be conflicts coming that we've not seen in our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. Could be right.
And I don't, I personally don't see a way around it at this point.
And that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
I have grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
You have grandchildren. It's a scary thought.
Yeah. What are we leaving to them? Are we leaving a legacy of respect and integrity and decency? Or are we leaving a legacy of selfishness and narcissism and the willingness to say any and everything about people, whether we know it to be true or not?
And no tools in their tool belt to do otherwise.
Exactly. Because, they're spending so much time defending themselves from like I said, you don't even have to participate in it to be affected by it. So I don't think we have to go very far, very long right now to realize that people going out of their way to be kind and loving to others may be the exception rather than the rule. in our current surroundings and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about that? Like I said, we're going to be talking about this for 2 or 3 episodes. And today was kind of laying the groundwork of just saying, all right, this is what we see. We've talked a little bit about what kindness looks like, the targeted kind toward individuals and the broad kind that says, I'm going to be kind, period. Even on days I don't feel like it. Even on the days that the world has tossed something at me that is not pleasant, that is unexpected, that is not nice, and certainly not deserved. But see, what this tells us is that the responses of kind people come not out of what mood they're in, but what condition their heart is in.
Mm.
Because if it's the condition of your heart to be kind, I'm sorry, said the word so many times, it's just running out. But if the condition of your heart is one of kindness, you're going to be that way way more often than not. When we come back in our next episode, we're going to talk about what kindness is and what kindness is not. Because a lot of people think that being nice is also being kind. And I'm here to tell you that is not necessarily the case. So thanks for joining us on this episode of Out Loud and On Purpose. I've been your host, Kyle Hargrove, and ably assisted by lovely and talented and wonderful Miss Amy. And we look forward to being back with you next week and hope you'll all join us again. Until then, take care of yourselves. Be kind.